So after
So,
fighting, so after determining that we found a werewolf here at the courthouse, and losing one party member, Saint Blood, Mr. Gurner, what would your character do? Rafelnir has rolled his religion check to see if the seed is intact on Rake's body.
Is it?
Uh, I'll let you make a general perception check to search the room and to search Rake's possessions.
would any knowledge checks be appropriate here, local or arcana?
Let's look here.
Probably not arcana, but maybe local. And if there's any Abaddon stuff lying around religion, here, I'll just see if that'll help.
Okay, let's see what we got from you. Okay, so as you search the room, you do notice that your comrade Rayk, his seed, has not been destroyed. It is still intact.
So,
Alright.
if I can improvise, we should take the seed. I don't know that we can carry the body. I'm sure that Rake's people would understand if we made sure that the new life was secure, even if we did not give proper rights to the old.
Well, yeah, in that sense, if the seed itself is, well, not destroyed, but clearly he's not getting up, and learning of sort of the customs, I guess I'll take it upon myself to sort of pull it loose. I mean, I guess it's basically his heart.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of keep
So you
attached
pull it
that,
loose. You pull
yeah,
it
that
loose.
I can keep it handy in my bag until we get somewhere earthy.
Okay. Excellent. Rafael, you're also
Hmm?
searching the room with your score here. Make your way up to the desk. I'm gonna say you're searching the entire room.
We're still on
Okay.
the map, by the way. At least I am. There we go.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, there's my pretty token. Okay, so he's up here at the desk. And you mentioned this was the judge. Oh,
Mhm.
I'm actually on top of the desk.
Howls can still be heard in the distance, but we are going to, as you raffle through the desk drawers, you notice a couple of personal belongings of the judge. His signet, which he would use to stamp certain papers, pens, quills with ink, parchments. But you see something that looks like a magical text, very small, and you also notice a vial of an opaque light green color, sitting in his drawer.
Okay. I would like to use detect magic on that vial.
Um, you detect magic, and I'm going to say that you give it some time, and you detect two magical presence, one from the parchment and one from the vial.
Okay. I would like to identify the properties of the magic items. That would be spellcraft difficulty 15 plus the item's caster level. I'd
Mm-hmm.
like to take 10 and automatically get an 18 on the check.
Okay, so you know that the parchment is seen if you're reading it, and your eyes kind of perk up. It is a scroll of fox cunning.
Hmm.
The next one,
Rafelnir would declare it to the group.
seems to be a potion of cure light wounds.
And he would declare that to the group as well. And I think he's going to leave it on the desk and say, I do not know. I believe that Gurner's fighting style is more likely to risk physical injury, but I can see that Chorus is in the most immediate need right now. I will not further impinge on your decision as to who would carry this.
Cora, seeing that, what would your character respond to Rafelnir?
What was that? I missed that.
I said, what would your character do in response to Rafelnir?
Rafelnir has identified a magic scroll of Fox's Cunning and a potion of Cure Light Wounds. And he intends to keep the scroll of Fox's Cunning, but he will be letting the two of you decide who will carry the potion of Cure Light Wounds.
I don't even think I'm conscious at this point, am I?
Yeah, you are. How many checks do you have? How many the channels do you have?
None.
Okay, because you did 2 last time. I want to say I can't quite remember. Go ahead and roll your 2 channels, because you rolled at the end of last session and I didn't write it down. That's my mistake. Just roll your 2 channels.
It was a total of 6 points last time.
Okay, total 6. So
I did use 1 channel before that, I think.
how many do you have per day?
3.
3. So you can just put your HP up to 6, and we did clarify everyone's HP up to 6. We did clarify the diet rules, so we'll know next time what to do.
But I was at -7, right? So 6 brought me to -1.
Okay, but remember we had made a mistake with the rules, so we're just gonna say you have 6 because we thought Gruner's heal check got you out to 0.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Okay, so then I have no channels and I think a couple spells left.
Okay. So what would the group like to do? I mean, you're here, boarded up in the office, or the courthouse, the small courtroom. You've lost a comrade. Gruner, what do you and Core think might be the decisive action? Your mission was to make sure this is done by sunrise, and it's now. It just happened. The sunset just set.
Can we call for a tracker and find this guy who's escaped, it looks like?
Perhaps we should begin with searching the rest of the courthouse. However, I am reluctant to engage in hostilities at this particular time. It seems... I don't know how to take down a werewolf with a party member down.
What was our mission on the werewolf? What did we have to do about that?
If I recall, we were to capture and force feed him Wolfsbane and bring him to our employer. I believe that killing him was an option, but a much less preferred.
No, I'm talking about this guy, the Villic guy, who I think who has escaped is supposed to be Villic, is it not?
Correct, and our orders for him are the same orders as we had for Artis.
To find him and bring him back. So our next course of action is it looks like he's escaped through that door there, so we need to find out where he's gone and apprehend him if he's behind that door.
By all means, after you.
In that case, I'll just take the potion, just to have some. As long as somebody's carrying it and not everyone's dead, we can use it.
Yeah, the first few potions should go not to me, and then when we get enough potions for everybody, I should have probably an extra one. But for now, I think you should carry it, and I think we should make haste to find out where that guy's gone. How many rounds have elapsed at this point?
Maybe, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes. The combat was maybe 2 minutes, if that, and then the fate.
Well, he's long gone now, so we have no hope of tracking this guy unless we find a ranger from the watch, or somebody can give us a ranger.
Yeah, I know something like, if I remember right, he broke through a window somewhere in this direction. I don't know if he went through a door first, but I know we heard glass shatter.
Okay, well, let's go through this door and see what's going on first.
Okay.
Because we don't know what happened. So
Okay, so you come in here, and you see that this window's broken. And you see little bits of blood going to the outside of the building.
So if there's blood, we might be able to get a somebody from the watch with a dog, or somebody else who's like some kind of detective or something. I think that's our only hope, really.
That was my idea. I want to sort of search around the window itself, any tufts of fur or the anything that he left behind. Wow, that's bad.
Rafelnir's in darkness. I can't see through that.
Just head left.
I got you, Rafelnir. Here we go. That should be way better for you, bud.
Alright,
It's a different token. So here is where you see the broken window.
Rafelnir would like to quickly pan about the room with detect magic.
Let's see here. You detect magic on the desk within the drawers of the desk. You detect magic.
Rafelnir would like to take 10 on a Knowledge Arcana check to identify the aura of the magic, getting a total of 18. The difficulty is 15 plus spell level of the effect.
You said 15 plus spell level?
Yep.
So unfortunately, you don't know what the aura is.
Ooh, shiny. Alright, Rafelnir would like to find the object that's emanating the aura.
Again, you see another parchment. As you go inside the desk, you see another magical parchment.
Well, knowing what he knows then, he would like to roll to spellcraft to identify the potion. The scroll.
Okay. Roll your spellcraft. Unfortunately, you're not able to make sense of what it is.
Interesting. Then he's definitely going to pocket that and keep it for later.
Okay.
Yeah. So I tried to search for like any sort of, there's blood, but then anything else that sort of he may have snagged on the window.
Just blood. I mean, he barely had any clothes on. If you remember what he looked like. But yeah, he definitely some blood, little bits of fur on the window. Not much.
That's good enough for me. I'll sort of take, I guess, carefully pick up the bits of fur and maybe break off a shard of glass that has blood on it, just to have something for a scent.
Okay. Would you like to continue to search around the building, or what does the party want to do? Chorus. Daryl.
As I said, we need to get after this guy because that's what our mission is. So if he's gone at least 5 minutes, I don't see how I can or any of us can track him because I'm not sure he's a tracker. So can we get a dog or a ranger as soon as possible? Or we just go out on the street and try to follow him, but we won't be able to.
Yeah, do I even have... Let me see. Well, I have a point of survival. I could attempt to... Like, does it seem like there is a blood trail? Like, he nicked himself. Is there, like, little bits of blood?
Yeah, you definitely, you with that small perception check, you can see outside. You do see little bits of blood.
Oh, now I need to look up what it takes to actually track someone and see if I could even... if it's worth trying. Survival...
It's difficult, but if there's a physical trace like blood left behind in a trail, then that shouldn't be that difficult.
Let's see. Track by
I
ground.
also
Let's see. Firm ground at city streets. One guy. Medium. Do I... if I need... Normal, yeah, normal outdoor surfaces. Follow tracks. It's basically tracks, and then I guess, yeah, bonus if there is like a bit of a blood trail. So it's DC 15 normally, and then whatever you want to, I guess, give me.
Okay.
All right, I'll roll.
Okay. Bruno, as you make your
Felnir
way...
would like to roll to aid if that's possible.
Okay. Okay.
He doesn't have a bonus in that, so.
Perfect. So Gruner, especially with the Rafelnir pointing out, hey, look over here in this way. Do you see how this is actually a footprint and stuff like that? He begins to make his way to. It seemed like a sewer entrance.
Gurner will give a bit of a chuckle at that idea. Just, you know, Occam's razor. That's the place everybody goes to hide. And yeah, I'll sort of follow the blood down to whatever, I guess, manhole entrance that would be.
Okay.
Away from the courthouse. Oh, right, there's two halves of this map.
So, can Rafelnir just spontaneously produce a empty vial to store some of the werewolf's blood in?
Do you have one of those? You have something to put it in?
No, I don't have a vial.
Well, do you have prestidigitation?
How much light do you emit again, Daryl? With your light spell?
2040, I think.
Yeah, 40 overall, it's 20 and then 20 dim.
Okay. Okay, there you guys go. Rafelnir, you should be able to see as well, bud. Can you see? Nope, not yet. Vision.
I'm having trouble finding.
It's okay. Got you boys on the new page in the bottom right.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
Yeah, once you have the light and stuff set up, you can also just do you have a set for default tokens?
No.
It's fairly quick. If you like open up each given character, you know, like the bio info, you hit edit, there'll be a part that says default token sort of on the left. Just click, you know, whoever's token and then click use selected token.
Okay.
Like if you go over to like the whole list of people, you can just sort of like slap us down like that. Like I mean my token's like my icon, so
Okay. Everybody ready? You can see?
Yep.
I'm ready and can see. Rafelnir would like to suggest that Gurner go in front, Kors stay in the middle, and Rafelnir follow after Kors.
yeah, that's the best we have at this moment. And I'm the one with the silver dagger, so
Okay, yeah, I just want to be one square behind Gurner
Makes sense.
with a long spear.
Yeah. So I mean, even if we move, like if I move quicker, we sort of know that's the formation, so that everybody's like synchronized. Hmm. Seems it goes this way.
Rafelnir would be maintaining detect magic.
Okay.
I'm taking this quite a bit personally now. Short-lived as a comrade he was taken from us. By my order, it is my duty to avenge him.
Gruner, as you
Speak of
step,
an order.
as you step, you feel a sharp pinch in your ankle, and at that moment, the thoughts of Vilik, being a very accomplished and well-renowned hunter, sinks into your mind. As you look down, you see your right foot encased in a type of metal device.
Hey, I have 2 of these.
Um, Let me roll to see if I hit you. Yeah, wow, I
Yikes!
rolled. Okay, well it's okay. No crit though, no crit. Um, wow, this is a lot of
It's
damage.
a trap. It can't necessarily.
Not gonna do too crazy. So at that moment, it's you almost hear as Gruner's leg. It sounds like his leg just snaps as you take 11 damage, Gruner. What is your character? What is Gruner doing at this moment? Is he still up? Is he?
Yes, he's. Well, I mean, there's not much you can do besides sort of cry out in pain.
Um,
And he takes a moment to sort of, realize what happened. And at that, after that, tries to wrench it open.
okay, make your strength check. Unfortunately, Gruner, you see Gruner struggling for Felnir. Of course, again, you see him struggling as well. What is your two? What will be your reaction in this?
Well, Rafelnir doesn't have disabled device. He doesn't have good strength. The best he can do is keep watch. Ready's in action to shoot the first thing he sees coming around the corner with a light crossbow.
Is he immobilized?
He is immobile.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Like, is it, I mean, stone more or less, but is it like secured or is it just around my foot?
It is very secure. As you notice, you see that there's chains and that there are chains and ropes. It seems like it was set up. What you notice actually is that it was. Give me one second. You see that it was rope initially, but since they had time, he actually put chains on there to reinforce it.
Oh. Yeah, that's a bit of an oopsie on my part.
We should
I
have
don't have
declared that we were
anything.
taking 10 on perception checks.
Yeah, as we were moving forward. Yeah, now I need to sort of like get this thing off me and then patch myself up.
I think that's it for our foray. We'll need to use a cure light wounds, then a cure light wounds, and
I have my hopefully that.
if we encounter the guy, we're not going to be in any kind of shape to fight him. I think. So it seems like to me, it seems like our attempt to find him is over for this night. because it's too dangerous. Unless we take a
Rafelnir would agree with Chorus. This is a bad situation, and we can only make it
Yeah,
worse
at
from here.
this point, as hard-headed as Gerner might be, he's not stupid. As he's still trying to wrench this thing open.
So it's a bear trap then, and
You want to try to aid him, Chorus?
is it attached to something or is
Yeah,
it?
yeah, it's attached. I mean, you try to aid him. Just do a strength check, disable device, escape artist. If you and
Is
Rafelnir still want to do like an aid, I'll let you to aid.
Is it attached to something?
Yeah, yeah. It looks like a piton or a type of stake is actually in the ground. It seems, it seemed that this was very improvised. And really, at this trap, you see, is where the blood kind of stops patterning off as well. Like, it seemed more. It seemed like it was flowing. And it was jumbled. It was more trackable, more noticeable. And then when it got to this part, it seemed to stop. You still see bits and pieces of blood, down the hallway, the sewer tunnel. But here, it seemed you actually can tell, well, someone has disturbed this area for a brief minute or two. So you think that he might have rested, patched up, and then laid this trap. And I use
Clever
the,
wolf
and
then.
I use the word rested very lightly too.
So, the question really is about whether we can move him with this trap on or not.
So the answer seems to be no. Okay, so the resources we have at our disposal are the Blood Rage to increase his strength and Enlarge Person to increase Chorus's strength. I don't know. I think that the best thing we can do for this is I believe that the person making the check ought to be Gerner, and then if Rafelnir uses Enlarge Person on Chorus, Chorus is more likely to get an aid. And he will be able to make 10 attempts before the Enlarged Person wears off. Gerner, how much Blood Rage do you have left?
Exactly 1 round. Oh yes,
Well, let's get it right.
Also should be that also should be a cue that we are not doing this tonight. Yeah. All right.
So I'm just going to try my own separate check without aiding then.
All right, Rafelnir will go ahead and cast Enlarge Person on Chorus and let it rip. You got +2 size bonus to strength.
At that moment, you see Grunner just getting mad and frustrated as he has failed several attempts. Veins start to pop out, pupils start to dilate. His physique gets more muscular. You see Chorus just expand to be a larger version of himself. Start rolling, boys. Daryl, you should just aid. Just aid, Daryl.
No, I'm going to make a separate check. If I aid his check and he rolls badly, then we only have 1 roll. So I'm going to save my roll. Pardon?
Roll.
He rolled a good roll. I'm giving you a little DM magic to tell you to aid, and I'm giving you a little hint. Since you guys were playing a man down.
The other option we have is we can attack the chain, and we should be able to do sufficient damage to the chain to eventually break it off and have him limp out on a bear trap leg.
I think I got it. Maybe just a little short.
Rafelnir, you can aid as well, I believe.
It is technically 10, I think, no matter what, so you can try it.
Yeah, Rafelnir, you can aid. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah,
Chorus,
exactly 10.
Chorus, what do you want to do at this moment? You want to roll your check too, man?
Yeah, where did you roll? In Discord or something?
No, we rolled on roll 20. I'm waiting for you, man.
Yeah, click your word strength in your character sheet.
I don't see your rolls on roll 20.
I got it. Just you roll and I'll see it. They're secret. Their rolls are secret.
Everything is set to whisper to Game Master, so you don't see our rolls.
Oh, I see. So I'm just gonna roll a separate check then.
Yes. Okay. At that moment, with Daryl helping Felnir, you see Gruner snap. Releasing the bear trap, and Gruner shakes his leg away from it.
May I recommend we retain the potion of healing, even if we use the magical healing that Chorus has at his disposal?
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, save all healing potions for now until we use magic spells. So we're just gonna leave and make it back home, and then I'll heal there just in case anything else happens, I guess.
Sounds reasonable. I suppose it would be foolhardy to try to take an extra bear trap with us.
Gruner, are you wanting to relax in the sewer, or are we trying to make our way to...
Well, it's only one round of rage, so after basically that whole bout, he would end it against his will.
No worries, I got you. Okay, group. What will we be doing?
We're heading out, taking 10 on perception checks for any more surprises he might have left, and detecting magic as well, I'd assume.
Okay.
On the way, Rafelnir would like to ask Gerner, you mentioned an order. What manner of order do you serve?
I serve the Church of Regath, General of Vengeance.
Let's see. Okay, I believe a relatively obscure deity like Regathiel would be a 15 to identify by name. So he got a 19. He's like, interesting. I do know that there is a small order of Regathiel paladins in the fight against the demon Tree Raiser, who has set up in the Tanglebriar south part of Kyonin, and they are very notable. They do not go quietly.
No, they do not. Yeah, I guess considering we're one and many nths of a man down, we're limping back to report a mission failure.
Well, you have you could rest up for 8 hours and go back if you wanted to.
We're not going to rest on the streets.
No.
Yeah, where would we rest?
Not on the streets, but the safe house. So
Yeah,
you
we're
make
going to limp our way over.
So you limp your way over. Howls can be heard in the distance. Even some screams as well. As you make your way, the group can begin to take a rest. It seems that the safe house is empty. No one's there.
2 cure lights, I guess on Gurner, I think.
Yeah,
Or one first, and then
well, the other guy who would have needed it is also no longer with us. So yeah, however you feel you wanna.
Okay. So Gruner, is that only one? Is that only one, Daryl? You got any? Is there any bonuses of that? Okay. So Gruner, I'm sending you what you healed.
that's 12.
Okay.
Or, sorry, 11, I guess.
11. Okay.
Yeah, Gurner appears to be in. He's hale and hearty.
Rafaelnir.
I think I have. Actually, that's right. I have one channel left because we didn't use any before we went into that last fight, right? We didn't use anything.
No, I don't remember. You. Prior to, I know what you mean. Like prior to the courthouse, I don't remember you ever channeling. So if you had 3, that would then be 1.
Yeah, so that's another 4 to everyone.
Rafaelnir, I know you're meditating and trying to take note of what was successful and what wasn't successful during the late evening's attempts at tracking the werewolf down. Any new spells that you want to prepare, since this will be a full 8 hours rest? And at this moment...
Oh yeah, I'm way ahead of you. Just put it in the Rafelnir chat.
When everyone wakes up, it is now around 2:30 a.m.
Rafelnir would like to cast Read Magic and identify the so far unidentified scroll.
Nice.
It is going to be a scroll which befits the courthouse in the Inquisitor's office. Discern lies.
That has its uses.
Of discern lies.
What spell list is that on? I'm sorry.
Just use this paladin.
It's cleric, I think.
Yes, in that case, Rafelnir would hand it to Chorus and say, I believe this might be difficult for you to cast, but at some point you may find use of it.
Yeah, I think that's the later version of Abadar's truth-telling.
So, everyone's rested and recuperated. And Daryl, you can just send me what spells you. I see. I got you. Whatever we rest next. Okay, I got you. So as the group begins to make their way through the town, is anyone need to do anything else before we continue? I don't want to cut anybody off.
We have to report to our guy and tell him what happened with our mission, right?
We're at the safe house now and no one's here.
Is it? You said it's like it's not light out. It's actually like real early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
We technically still have time.
You could try for an hour or so. We've rested, right?
Mm-hmm. So everyone will get 1 HP as well.
Yeah, because we rested.
Felnir will go find Gurner and say, when we locate the werewolf, I understand a dagger is no real warrior's weapon, but I can enhance it magically. So stay close to me. That would be my first action.
All right.
Out of character, I prepared magic weapon.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You might want to put it on a high damage weapon.
Well, the way I figure it, that damage reduction bypassed by silver is gonna make the dagger effectively our top weapon.
Yeah, I think it's actually fairly high DR, but I don't actually know it off the top of my head. So it's better than nothing. And I mean, it's just going to be me trying to slap him until he goes with him.
Yeah, whatever.
And besides, Chorus is getting in large person.
Yeah, we're just going to beat on him until something happens. Yeah, I mean, if everybody's like got their spells and whatnot prepared and we sort of know what we want to do, I mean, this is our last effort before. I mean, we're, I don't know, fired or whatever happens if we were to fail this mission.
Yeah, we got a chance to save our butts, I guess, so we give it a shot.
Yeah, hopefully he was likewise licking his wounds down in the sewer.
Okay.
Without magical assistance, no.
So let's come out of the safe house now. I'm gonna move everyone here. If you don't mind, we can put our characters in this area.
Where might that be?
Hold up, let me. Digger Gruner.
All right.
I'm sorry, I still don't see any tokens.
We're looking for you.
Yeah,
Right?
he's-
There you are.
Yep. It's in the top right. Sorta.
There we are. I was thrown by the other light bubble.
Mhm. Yeah, don't really. You don't worry about that. Okay, dynamic lighting. Okay. Okay.
Anyways, Raphelnir will go ahead and continue hugging Chorus as close as Chorus is comfortable.
The werewolf howls are getting louder and louder as the group leaves their safe house.
From which direction does it sound?
South. Everyone make a perception check.
Speaking of which, can we be assumed that I'm running Detect Magic and everybody else is taking 10 on perception checks?
Is that just taking 10 plus your bonus? Is taking 10 flat?
Yeah, that's what it's 10. Like the roll is a 10, and then it's our bonus. Like, that's just if we're not in danger, we're just actively looking. Like that's our passive perception, as it were. Like any old stimulus will sort of trip it if we're good enough.
At that moment, you see, or you hear, you start to hear, for those that have Sirenscape, you hear noise coming from the back alley.
Raphelnir is certainly uncomfortable being closer to it than anyone else.
I'm sorry. From what direction did it came from? The west.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. I'll. Oh boy.
At that moment, you see a wolf in front of you, Gruner. And you also see one from the direction in which the group just came. You also know one from here.
Hack tactics.
They're not doing anything. At this moment, you see on top of the building Felix. and he asks. He lets out a furious howl. Behind you, snarling, and Rayk is snarling as well. And he says, like in a rough snarl. He says, "Why?" He says, like in a growl. He says, "Why are you following me?"
Well, we're here to apprehend you.
Those are the original orders, but for me, it's vengeance.
And he asks, he says, "Vengeance for who?"
For our comrade. His name was Rayk.
He replied and said, "If you and your comrade Rayk were not gotten into my personal business, then he would not be with those who have tasted my vengeance as well." He says, "If you do not want to meet the same fate as him, I recommend you turn around and go back to hence you came."
Felnir is calmly evaluating him for any magical aura.
He says, "This is my last night in town, and then I will never return again to this town."
I nudge Rafalnir for a large person.
Felnir will give you his enlarged person.
That's a shame. Orders are orders, I say as I draw the silver dagger.
That means you'll have to start casting, and it'll probably be initiative, right?
So, yeah, you can cast. So, at that moment, I'm gonna have the wolves will all roll initiative. Okay. Oh, we got a good initiative. He, by the way, is on top of the building. I hope you can see the map.
Yeah.
And before the fight, did Rafalnir pick up any magic auras on the werewolf?
No, you didn't pick up any magical auras. On the werewolf. No, sir.
Good for the fight difficulty, phooey for the loot.
Let's see what it is. Okay. Okay. So, Gruner will go first. At that moment, Gruner, it is your turn.
Hmm.
You see that he's about
I didn't
20
quite have
Hopefully
a-
Rafalnir's mentioning of the magic weapon is sticking in his ear.
Yeah, and given I didn't quite have a moment to... Let me see, what's a good option? I will... I guess in this mere moment... oh, that'll be funny. Yeah, I'm gonna meet him, I'm gonna make Wolf meet Wolf, and I'm going to use Alter Self to turn into an Adlet, which is a wolf-like humanoid.
Okay. Are you going to move or attack? You're going to stay where you're at?
I'm gonna keep my weapon drawn, and I will... That's my standard.
You can
so
ready
yeah,
an
I'm
action
going-
to attack the first hostile that comes close.
No, that's a standard to cast Alter Self, so then... I don't
Yes,
know,
ma'am.
move action... Let's see, what do I have? Anything? Well, given I have one free hand... Oh no, I'd actually have to set those up. Yeah, no, I'll just... That's my turn.
Okay.
What did you alter to?
An Adlet, which is like a ice wolf humanoid.
So that was Rafalnir. You got a high dex. You're the next one, Rafalnir.
Okay, well, Rafelnir is going to hold his position, but as and the enlarged person spell goes off, and Chorus is now a 2x2 space.
You gotta start
And-
casting the enlarged person, though, don't you?
Yes. So if it didn't go off before combat, I would use my standard action to do so.
It's a 1-round spell.
It's a standard action.
It's a 1-round spell.
You have to, like, it takes a full round to do it for you to start casting it. So you went.
Oh,
Like-
I was mistaken. I thought it was
Right.
standard.
No, it's like summons, right?
Yeah.
Well, learn something new every day. So when does this spell go?
Beginning of your action next round, the spell goes off, and then you get your full round of action next round. So you basically give up everything this round, but you get the spell goes off, and you get your full round's action next round.
Okay, then we're doing that.
So now it is a wolf's turn. We're gonna have this wolf move up to engage with Felnir. Let's see if he hits or misses. Oh man, the wolf lashes. It lashes out at Felnir and is trying to bite him at the feet, but unfortunately, it misses. Of course. This is your turn now. For some reason, Daryl, your initiative didn't update like it should have. So it's your turn, but I'll make sure it's fixed next round. Your turn.
Yeah, no worries. I don't know if I have reached to the guy on the roof yet.
Oh no, he's 20 feet up. But you can hit this
You're
one.
tanking the guy on the other side of me.
Okay, yeah, I'll hit the one on the ground then.
Remember to give it a +2 AC bonus for soft cover because he's behind the film.
Got you. Okay, course.
Shrimp, man.
Waiting for Chorus's attack. Okay, Chorus. Oh, wow. So Chorus, great roll. Rafelnir is in the way, of course, but you maneuver through your combat and militia training, and you position your spear in a way that as the wolf starts to launch its way at Rafelnir, as it kind of launches forward, you take your spear and you put it through the mouth, impaling the spear. Excuse me, impaling the wolf with your spear.
Yikes.
Nice.
This
So,
wolf is sorry. You're gonna move or you're gonna stay? You're gonna do another attack. Sorry.
I am going to. No, I'm just gonna stay right there.
This creature will move 5 and then move up to attack Gruner. I believe you get. No, you don't get attack opportunity on that one since it's diagonal, correct?
Diagonals do count for the 10-foot reach. It's a perfect, like, instead of being all of these, it's all of these. It's like the, you know how like diagonal movement has that caveat?
5, 10, yeah, 5, 10, yeah. Okay, so Daryl,
For weapons, it's the exception.
okay. Oh, okay. But Darren, you get attack on this one too.
Yeah, I know that's like a little confusing because like it's the first diagonal's free, and then like this is technically would be 15 feet, right?
Now I'm gonna move this
Yeah,
way as
no.
well.
For the weapons, it's not that. That's not the case.
And this one doesn't get a flanky bonus, correct?
No, they have to be, for mediums, they have to be completely opposite. So,
Okay.
like, if Court was a wolf, yeah.
Again,
But
Chorus,
thankfully, because Mr. High Dex, he gets to slap them to death, hopefully.
Chorus, you hit this one. You can see that this wolf is bravely injured as you stab it in the left leg. This one's going to attack Gruner. Unfortunately, I think a 9's going to miss. This guy, seeing this, is going to run. He's going to jump. We're going to do an acrobatics check. 14. And I'm going to shoot at Gruner. You see he pulls out a small crossbow. He's going to miss. Okay, Gruner, your turn.
Well, considering this one was one that he pegged and was injured. I'm sorry, you said the other one moved up as well?
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot of decks, right, Daryl? Don't you get another on this one?
Yeah, if he moves through my threat range, though, if he leaves the threat square.
Yeah, he was back here, I think, and then he moved up, right, Jeremy?
Yeah, but he wouldn't get one.
He's not marked yet. That only injured it, not left.
Yeah, he didn't leave the square
Oh, right.
that I threatened.
Yeah, I forgot, that's 10 feet there, okay. Yeah, well, since he managed to peg this and I sadly only have my dagger, I'm gonna stab this one.
Change weapon.
Okay, good damage. Well, good hit. You do a good amount of damage as the dagger starts to shine off the moonlight. The moonlight, it's really odd. It seems like once you pull the dagger and hit this wolf, the dagger starts to kind of glow, kind of like effervescence type of color. Seeing this and recalling it, I'm going to shout, "These aren't normal wolves!" Or at least this one isn't. I'm going to. You see the werewolf behind you howl. Okay. Now, Chorus, your turn. Yeah, that's all I'll do.
I'm sorry, I wasn't Rafelnir before course.
He wasn't, unfortunately, but we can do it that way. I messed up on this ship. Would you like me to continue with my mistake?
Yeah, Rafelnir can go.
Okay, so then I'll change it. So
Yeah, I would
then Chorus.
I would definitely prefer that the buffs go off in the correct sequence.
Okay.
Yeah, so, Chorus is now enlarged, and, Rafelnir is going to take a 5-foot step and drop a magic weapon touch on... Okay, so this is not a valid place for him to be?
No, so this is
That's a proper wall.
Yeah.
Alright, well, screw that one up. So... Rafelnir is going to... Let me make sure I can do this.
You can move, cast, and touch.
Yeah, but he would have
Too
to
far.
Yeah, like he would have to end in a legal square, and if like this one isn't clearly because like the house is wall, it is like a back wall.
Okay, yeah, just ready an action to do it when I move then.
Or if you want to throw something, whatever you want to do.
Boy, I do not have a plan for this turn.
Or do something to the wolves or something.
Okay, then Rafelnir would like to shoot the injured wolf there. What kind of penalties are we looking at here?
-8.
Probably, yeah.
Well, nothing ventured.
Unfortunately,
You don't got acid flash or something?
Rafelnir is going to take his crossbow. She's trying to aim the shot, and he had a good shot. But at that same time, Chorus became enlarged, and he shoots, missing the wolf.
Yeah, move action to reload that crossbow.
Okay. Now for course. What are you gonna do, bud?
If I walk around the wolves, will I be able to, from the wall, from the ground floor, will I be able to attack the guy up on the roof?
Let me see. You would have to walk through Gruner Square, walk through both the wolf squares to be attacked.
Be walking around to the wall, and then I'd be trying to reach my spear up because I'm as tall as the wall then, and then stab him with my spear across the roof.
Also, is a course
These are-
squeezing in this narrow space?
Yeah, he is. These are his AC would be smaller. These are roofs.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Seems like these are 5-foot walkways,
Yeah,
sort
these
of
are
like
alleys.
as well.
These are alleys. Yeah.
Then I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna 5-foot diagonally north. Nope, the other way to the wall, and then I'm gonna climb up the wall.
Okay, make a climb check.
It's tough because this is a tight spot, but
And he takes what for squeezing negative?
Yeah, but that's for AC. This is for a skill check, though.
Yeah,
So, but
Also, because he's enlarged,
other-
he would-
yeah, I'm as big as the building, so it's like a 5-foot climb for me onto the roof.
also he's got a significant bonus because he is climbing where he can brace against two opposite walls. That is a -10 subtraction from the difficulty.
So he's making a climb check and not fail pretty much.
yeah, like you said, because it is a tight spot. Like, yeah, his AC's bad, but that means he can, sort of like split his legs and shimmy up between the
Yeah.
two.
So you climb the what's your AC right now? Minus the 1 for being large and minus 2 for squeezing.
No, my AC is 18 minus 2 for being enlarged. Sorry, my AC is 19 minus 2 for being enlarged, 17. But there's no minus. Oh, I see. You're saying that I'm squeezing because of the space. Oh, I see. All right. Well, whatever. So I don't know what the squeezing. I think it's -2 or 4.
Oh, -4. Wow, it's -4. So what is that all day? What was your AC all day with -4?
AC's 13.
Okay, so I roll a 13.
Yeah,
so
I was
I'm
gonna
gonna
say.
hit, and then I'm gonna roll my damage, which is gonna be booty. So we'll do +1, which is gonna be 7 damage, and then I'm going to attempt to trip because that's my special ability. See if I can trip him. CMB. Let's see if we can do this. Let's roll. 11. Unfortunately, you're not tripped. What's your CMD?
It is 19 right now.
Okay, yep. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to. I mean, I think you take minuses as well for the squeeze and all that, but I'm going to be able to. So, you climb, but you take 7 damage to you, course, as you begin to climb on top of the building. Okay, Kor's turn. Now this wolf is going to, upon seeing Kor's a big creature, try to climb around him. I'm going to assume that he's going to attack again. It's got to be a 13. He misses. This creature, you hear a snarl as he comes for you as well, Bruno. He misses too. This guy, seeing Daryl begin to get bigger and to climb here, is going to continue to make his way. I'm going to shoot my crossbow at Chorus as he begins to climb. And I miss. In
Wow.
round.
Does he even have an angle because of the way that the roof is sloped?
I'm taking negatives, but I rolled one anyway, so it doesn't matter. Now Gruner. Your turn, Gruner.
Okay. Yikes, so there's a bit of an issue with these wolves. Well, the lad's getting away, so instead I think I'm gonna try and pile through this one. I'm gonna try and take him down. Don't I? I swear I get a natural attack as an athlete. Let me see. Just want to confirm if they have. They do, and I believe if I alter self, I do gain their natural attacks, right?
Yeah, you get their natural attacks, but what you do is you get either all of the natural attacks as a natural attack, or you get your weapon and all of your natural attacks as secondary, so they're all at -5. Your natural
Yeah,
attack.
I'm aware of that. Let me see here. Let me just quickly.
Oh, you don't know what your creature's attacks are.
No, I got the damage. Let me just quickly. That should. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to. Screw it. We'll power attack, even though it sucks a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna come down on the wolf to my left with the dagger.
Okay.
Whoa, that damage rolled weird.
Was that 3 or 2?
That should be the damage. It rolled non-lethal, as in like it bugged, but I definitely don't have negative strength, so
you rolled just a
that's it. Yeah, that's the damage for the dagger, and then this is a secondary attack. So
Okay.
I rolled it wrong again.
Because that would miss because secondary attacks would be like -5, correct?
No, I put the minus. It's actually -6 because I'm power attacking, so that's actually just a raw roll.
Okay, so 6 and the 5. So this wolf is now not breathing as well. And now it is
Yeah, I'm not gonna 5-foot.
Gruner's turn to fight. Do you want to 5-foot or no?
Screw it. I will.
Okay, Raphaelnir. Seeing 2 wolves taken down, course climbing the building in hot pursuit. What would you like to do?
Well, I was thinking I wanted to chase him down and try to make him fall off that roof, see if that'll bonk his head. But
Good one.
I think that is this a clear shot at the wolf no cover bonuses?
No, there's a little bonus there. You can move
Okay.
up to maybe. Yeah, it's a tight area for a reason, yeah.
Is this a covered area? Is it covered now? Okay, then rolling only the -4 penalty from the being in melee combat.
Again, the combat, you have another great shot at him, but with him being in combat with Gruner and Course there, you aim your crossbow, but as you shoot, your hand slightly flinches up, going above the wolf.
Alright, move action to reload the weapon, and that's my turn.
Okay. Course.
Cure light wounds, and then one move action towards him.
Okay. Roll your cure light wounds. Okay.
11, perfect. I just moved 30 across. You want to move me 30 towards the guy?
Okay.
If I can see him,
Attacks
he's
of opportunity now.
yeah, now he's in trouble.
Okay, now it is the wolf's turn. Let the wolf go ahead and go. I'm gonna move up. I'm gonna attack Gruner. Oh, okay.
Ouchie.
Oh,
Let's see. 6 damage, and let's see if we trip
Ouchie.
you. What's your CMD?
No.
Thank you.
16. That's not enough.
Okay. The creature is going to. What are we gonna do here? We are going to drop our crossbow and you see him pull out a weapon from behind him, and he's going to drop down and incur an attack of opportunity from Chorus.
Hang on, he moves?
Yeah, it's his turn, and he's going to just drop down. Do you get attack of opportunity?
What do you mean drop down? What is that? Does he move or does he crouch down?
Yeah, he's moving. He's dropping down off the building. You get attack of opportunity.
So he's jumping off the building, or what is he doing?
Yes, he's dropping off the building.
No, why I'm asking is you have to be very specific, because I get an attack of opportunity for him moving
Yeah, I
out
said
of my
that.
threat.
Yeah, you do. I said that. You get
Hang on a second. I get an attacks of opportunity for him moving out of my threat range, but I get other attacks of opportunity depending on if he provokes or something else, depending on what he does. So he moves, and then what does he do? So if he moves out 5 square, I'll take that attack of opportunity. Then, depending on what he does in the next square.
Okay, he's gonna move, and he's gonna continue to move.
But what do you mean? He just jumps off the building?
Yes, he jumps off the building. I'm about to do an acrobatics check. Okay, so I take damage.
And fall prone.
So here's what I don't understand. So what you did was you moved through 2 threat squares, but I only get an attack of opportunity for 1. But I can't tell if jumping off the building is a different. I guess it's just a move action then.
Yeah,
Jumping off
I think
the building.
I think you would get 1 attack, man. Right.
Yeah.
How high was it from the where he
Hard.
jumped to the floor?
This building is this building right here. I'm not gonna be nitty picky and make you roll whatever to see, but this building is 10, this building's 20, and this building is about 15, and then from here it slouches down, would be about 10.
Then he's going to need to make an acrobatics check to soften the fall, and I'm not sure that you get that far afterwards.
Yeah,
I
you rolled a-
I take my I roll my damage.
Yeah, and if he failed, he also lands sort of on his face. He's prone.
Did he fail?
I'm gonna double check those rules.
Well, it's an 8, so that's below 10, which is like you passed a really easy check. I don't know what like a deliberate jump from 10 feet is.
I thought it was this. Do take damage.
Posted it in the chat. Posted it in the other chat.
Yeah, if you jump from 20 feet, you can make an acrobatics to save 10 feet of the damage, but you take a d6 for 10 foot or something.
Yeah, I took my 2.
Yeah, I took my 2.
But if you fail the check, like I'm not sure you can just jump off a 20-foot building
It's not
and
20
not
foot.
fall prone.
It's not 20. This was 10 over here. He didn't fall. He didn't fail by 5 or more. He fell by 2, so he doesn't land prone. It says
So
if you fail by 5 or
the
more,
rule
you
is you
fail.
end up prone if you take damage from the fall.
It says the only acrobatic modifiers that apply are those concerning the surface you're doing from. If you fail this check by 4 or less, you can attempt a DC reflex save to grab hold the other side after having missed a jump. Oh.
That's if he's jumping.
Yeah, I think you're
across.
looking at long jump.
Yeah, that's long jump. That's not like falling
if
down.
If you fail by 5 or more, you fail to make the jump and fall or land prone. It's if you fail by 5 or more. I'm just looking at jumping and falling. That's what I'm looking at.
I quoted the thing, and it says, when you deliberately fall any distance, even as a result of a missed jump, DC 15 acrobatic skill check allows you to ignore the first 10 feet fallen, but you end up prone if you take damage from a fall.
Okay, so we have 2 rules then here. I don't understand why. This is it. I'm trying to.
Can you quote yours, Jacob?
Yeah, mine comes out of the acrobatics section, or
Yeah, just give the page ref and you can look it up.
that's it on Archives of Nethys.
So there's long jumps and there's high jumps. Okay, so now let me look at this one.
And the rule is the second paragraph below the high jump difficulty table.
Why don't you just send the link to Jeremy then?
Okay, I found it. It says if you take if you deliver fall any distance, even as a result of a missed jump, a DC 15 acrobatics check allows you to know the first 10 feet falling, although you still end up prone if you take damage from the fall. So he's prone then.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah,
He's done now.
to fall, like there's no like special DC to fall. It's like it's DC 15 if you're falling off of something. Like even if you say you jump, you're just jumping down. You're not jumping up. Those other rules are like if you're trying to jump up or if you're trying to jump across. So he blundered with a DC 8 or a DC 15. He rolled an 8, so he takes a little bit of damage and then he falls.
Okay, so you have to roll your attack to get your attack opportunity before he falls prone.
It's like spearfishing, but he's in the sky.
Yeah, I'm trying to do it, but oh, there it is. Okay, hang on.
Yeah, it's a second because it's
I don't see anything yet. Okay. Unfortunately, that's a miss, of course. So Chorus tries as his creature jumps from the building and falls, but Chorus he misses unfortunately. So that was Chorus. That was my turn. And the wolf already went, correct? So now we start back up in Gunnar St. Blood.
I'm gonna do the same thing to this wolf. I mean, I'll full attack, but I can drop it if the first one drops him, because that's technically only a standard. So I'm gonna do the same thing as before. That damage is still. So it would be 6 damage on the dagger, not the 1 non-lethal.
Okay. 6 damage. Again, this wolf looks injured as well, but this is the one that Chorus hit originally. It seems that it's on its last leg, Gruner. It's bloody,
Alright.
it's limping. You've knocked some teeth out. It looks like it's blind in one eye.
I missed the bite
And you missed
horribly.
the bite, unfortunately. Yep. Rafaelnir, seeing this, what would you like to do?
Well, the first thing he's going to do, of course, is yell, "It's over, Villic! Chorus has the high ground!" Then he's going to draw his dagger as a move action, 5-foot step up and he's going to make an attack with a flanking bonus on this wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Bold of you.
That's going to be a total of 21. 2 points of damage. Woo!
Okay, let me see. Force. So, Rebellion to 6. Oh, 6 is on. Okay. He did 1. I don't know how this creature is still alive, Raphaelnir, but you stab it in the back, and it seems that if you literally just push it over, it might fall down dead. If a strong
Oof.
breeze came through.
Lucky rolls.
Unlucky rolls, very unlucky. Chorus. What would you like to do?
So hopefully this is cinematic. I'm gonna take a very slow lope down that roof, the valley where the two roofs meet. Very slow lope.
Because you get a high ground bonus.
And then I'm gonna jump off the roof and land on Buddy as I spear him at the same time.
Okay, so you would like to do a charge attempt?
Sure, I guess, yeah.
That's basically what it is. It's a charge.
So you
Yeah.
do that, so, and now you charge. We're going to say I guess you're here. I guess you're kind of on top, but so make your attack roll plus 2 for charge.
And then +2 for high ground, right?
I thought high ground.
So,
Yeah, high ground 1.
And then, well, however you want to do it, -4 AC or +4 attack because he's prone. However you want to like divvy that.
Oh, right, yeah. He's prone, too. So, unfortunately, a bunch of things cancel out. Because as I jump and I drop down through the buildings, I'm squeezing. So, fortunately, he's prone, so that cancels. And I get a high ground bonus and charging, so I'm a total of my normal attack +3.
Well, at least he's prone. That would be bad.
And so the intention is to actually, I'm 8 times heavier. So when I'm enlarged. So the idea is to not only spear him but land on top of him. But I don't get extra attacks or anything. So here we go.
There's probably rules about dropping heavy objects on things.
There are, but it's dropping heavy objects. I don't know anything about dropping people. It would be 2d6 if you drop yourself. So I don't know how to roll that. But this
Yeah, I know
is
there's branch pouncer or something is a specific feat for like using distance fallen to get extra damage.
Yeah, maybe if I actually hit, maybe you can give me a damage bonus, but whatever.
Okay, roll, see if you hit. Wow, it's slow tonight. Okay, so you did a great hit. Okay. And I'm gonna give you a +2 damage bonus for each hit die that you are, because when I'm looking at it, it's something that is falling. It's large 2d6, so I'm gonna give you a +2. And
Okay, so 16 minus is DR or whatever. Because I'm using a normal weapon.
okay. Great hit by Chorus. As you see Chorus leaping off the building, let's see if we get some weapon impact sound effects. There we go. It hits his flesh. And Chorus, you want to say anything, Chorus, as you're falling off this building? Or, excuse me, jumping off this building?
I scream death and taxes.
Would Chorus have to roll an acrobatics check as well since he is jumping off the building?
Debatable. It's more of a long step for him, but if
Yeah,
you
so
want to-
for me, it's like a 10-foot drop. So,
It is 10 feet.
So you have to just roll 10 then, correct? A 10 out of 1d20 to not fall prone as well.
The rules that we use to make him fall prone do not care about anything more than so DC 15 by that rule.
Yeah, like, anyone who falls falls. It doesn't matter if you're charging or not.
Okay, well, roll. Course.
Okay, so hopefully I'll avoid the damage.
Well, I'm gonna do a double play. If it's gonna be a catch-22. So just roll to see if you get your DC 15 acrobatics.
DC 10, right?
15.
Why 15?
Because that was what the rules said. Am I correct, Rafelnir and Gruner?
Yeah, that's for if
That is
it's
correct.
or however, if you want to say because he's taller or whatever. Oh, no, you're still falling 10 feet. It doesn't matter how tall you are.
If you take any damage, so just roll.
What am I rolling? Acrobatics or something?
Yeah, acrobatics check.
So it's a dex check for me, I guess.
Okay, unfortunately, Chorus, as he does is he hits, but he falls prone as well. Chorus, I'm gonna roll your damage. This is 10 feet, take 3 damage. Okay, but you guys do not know what's going on. You don't know that. Okay, that was Chorus' turn.
Yeah, I heard him shout, and then
Now the wolf's turn.
Crunches.
You see the wolf continued, even though Rafelnir came behind him, he's going to continue to do damage to what has hurt him the most. Which is a 22. I'll roll a crit. Let's see if I can confirm it. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, let's roll it one more time. Okay. Wow. So what's that? That's his damage multiplied, or it's two different, right? So I roll 1 damage, which is 8.
Let me see here. That
should be it.
15. Oh boy. Yeah, I follow.
This bloody wolf, man.
So you're felling over.
Figure out. Yeah, let me figure out how much I'm down to. So.
Well, Elmer, he might have to put that fox's cunning on and make him force feed you a a potion.
Yep.
Just whisper me. Okay, got you. So Gruner is on the ground bleeding. Let's go to my guy's turn. Chorus, I'm going to attempt to get up. I think I'm going to incur an attack of opportunity by you, correct, sir?
No, because that is a reach weapon.
Yeah, you're next to each other, so.
Okay. Let me see what Chorus did to me. Upon seeing that, I am going to try to attack Chorus. I'm going to try with 2 claw attacks and then a bite.
Just one because he stood up.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry, I get excited. Thank you. I got up. I do not get a full attack. You're correct. So then, if that's the case, I'm just going to bite him. I'm not going to claw him. Dang it. Does a 13 hit you, Chorus? If you're on the ground, you're prone. -4?
No.
Okay. I miss. Dang it. Okay. I miss you, Chorus, as he snarls at you and says that you will meet the same fate as your friend in the courthouse.
And
Now it is Gruner's turn. Gruner, make your check. Okay.
That's not with any penalties. I have a lot of penalties, so I don't think I make that.
Okay. Now it is Rafelnir's turn. I'm gonna keep it in order.
Yeah, that dagger did not do very good. Okay. Then he's going to take a 5-foot step back
Okay.
and. Are you ready for me to totally throw this fight into a crazy place?
Lay it on me.
Alright, Rafelnir would like to shift through the wall and enter this house to his north.
No, don't you need line of sight?
Nope.
Yep.
Just
I would
needs
think
to
you-
be open.
I think you need to be a line of sight, wouldn't you?
It's not like
It works
Dimension Door.
as Dimension Door. Let me go find that for you.
I know it's as Dimension
Dimension door needs line of sight.
but it needs line of sight. Whereas Dimension Door, you just say, oh, you just shout 20 feet this way and you go. Because it's a reusable ability. It's a little, it has to be a little bit more balanced.
So you just have to check the reading of the ability to make sure it doesn't say as dimension door.
I believe it does. It says as Dimension Door, but it requires line of sight to your destination.
I put it in. I put Dimension Door, and I don't believe that it does anything about line of sight in either text or shift.
One of those abilities is
Not
as
be able to
dimension
use space.
door.
Okay,
one-
yes, I'm sorry. I was reading Dimension Door. Okay, is there a convenient window in the room?
I don't know. Let's just roll.
I'm sorry.
Cool. So you want to leave? You want to leave the combat and leave Gruner being mauled by this wolf?
I mean, yeah, I think that's what Rafelnir is like. Okay, well, this is a bad situation, and here's how I can not be in danger in it.
I got you.
So, is the
Let's roll percentage checks.
roll percentage?
Yeah, let's roll percentage. So I would say, no, let's roll another. I don't want to cheat because I was going to say, but I didn't get a chance to think about it. What do you want to say? 50% chance it does, 50% chance it doesn't, 50-50.
All right, I think that's fair.
Okay, and I roll a 1d2, and whichever, if it's a 1, then it's the lower than 50. If it's a 2, then it's the higher than 50.
Okay.
So since you already got your roll, it's a 2. So yeah, you see a window.
Rafelnir would just like to shift boink into this house.
Okay, so Rafelnir is shifted.
Have your move in standard then.
So no, it works as Dimension Door, and Dimension Door is the last thing he can do in a turn.
Swift act. Oh wait,
Now.
as if yeah, as if Dimension Door means you lose your actions.
Yes. That's his turn.
Okay, so that is Rafelnir's turn. Chorus, your turn.
Do I know what happened back there?
Over here?
Yep.
No, sir. No, sir, you do not. And you're still on the ground, Mr. Chorus. What would you like to do?
So I'm on the ground. He's stood up.
Mm-hmm.
I have a long spear. I still have a long spear in hand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming. So I say to him, looks like you're going to get away again. I tell you what, we look like we're in not much shape to fight you. We're coming to get you, only next time it will be with more force. You can surrender now, or be taken by more force in a much harsher fashion next time. And I just say that with a free action, I guess.
Okay, roll me a check. Roll me a diplomacy check, because you're trying to talk him into surrender. Correct.
No, I'm trying to talk him into surrender. Yeah.
So roll
The
diplomacy.
intention here is if he just. So what I'm doing is trying to get him to surrender and stop. But if he looks like he's gonna refuse, I'm just gonna draw my sword and attack. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have you. So roll your diplomacy check.
Okay. Here we go.
He tells you, he looks you up and down and says, you remind me of those that I came back to the city to destroy. I would never, he says, I would never believe a socialite politician like you anyway. And he begins to move over like he's going to attack you, Chorus. But so now you can make your attack that you were talking about. That was a second diplomacy. There you go. There's your attack. Yeah, that's a good hit, man. Again, so you pull out your great sword. I guess that's your move action. You're still on the ground. You're attacking. What is the bone? What's this negative for attacking on the ground? -4.
-4. Squeezing.
Yeah. Stuff.
So -4. That's so. Unfortunately, you miss again. Chorus. At that
That's
you
it
want to do
then.
anything else? You want to do anything else? I'm gonna have another howl.
I do have a move action. I used it. No, I don't have anything else. That's it.
Okay. Just wanna make sure you're not skipped. I know I kind of go fast. You hear the howl upon hearing the werewolf howl, the roar. This wolf is going to launch over Gruner and make his way down the alley. Hold up, sorry. Okay. Gruner, I'll give you a, not Gruner, but Velnir, I'll give you a perception check to see what's going on outside the window. Okay, Gruner, your turn. Rafelnir, you see clearly that the wolf is no longer in the alley threatening Gruner and has went, it seemed like, in the direction that Chorus has went. Okay, Rafelnir, your turn.
So this completely improvised room. What's in it?
Actually, when you went in there, you see a family sleeping. It is a simple home. You see, it's kind of like a catch-all, a 2-bedroom type of thing. The children are sleeping with beside the parents, and a smaller kid-sized bed. It's gonna be 2 kids, and then you see a man and woman in the bed as well.
Okay. Is there a door in this, within arm's reach of me that I can step out of without using another shift?
Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 6 squares. So let's roll a 1d6. So unfortunately, the door is up here.
Yeah, how inconvenient. Okay, and Rafelnir saw the wolf leave.
Yep.
Like to spend another shift and get out of the building, and that's going to be the remainder of his turn.
Okay. I'm going to act. I'm going to attack Chorus.
It's the werewolf attacking or the wolf?
The werewolf. So I got one good roll. Okay, got two good rolls. So he did a full attack. This one's wrong. It should be made at -5. I'm sorry. So -5. That's misses. So I only attack you one time. I hit one time with my claw. Oh, 8 damage to Chorus. Wow, I'm doing really good in that. 8 damage to Chorus, and I'm going to. That's all I'm going to do with my full attack. Okay, and now the wolf is going to continue to move around the building.
It'd be a shit roll, but he would get an attack, right? Because if he was here, he's leaving his.
Oh,
threat.
thank you for doing it. Yeah, of course you get an
Very
attack.
true.
No, he doesn't. He's got a sword. He doesn't have a spear.
Oh right, you said you dropped. Yeah.
He's enlarged. He has reach.
Oh, he is enlarged.
Oh right, yeah, no, natural reach is. So he gets one.
You get one attack, Chorus. With -4.
Excellent arguments, comrades, but I cannot attack.
Why is that?
Cannot.
Why
I'm
is
not
that? If you
able
mind me asking?
to. I'm not able to attack.
Why? I want to know the rule for that because I want to learn too.
Oh, because I'm down.
Oh, okay, you're down.
But
Below
nobody
0
else-
on.
nobody else can see me, so I can't actually say anything.
I got you. Okay. So now it is Gruner went, Rafelnir.
And then the wolf, yeah, so it should be my second to last roll.
Okay.
If you
Oh,
if you buy, you have to secret roll by roll also.
Yeah, I am rolling. Good job, Gruner. Okay, so now it is.
Well, I am not quote dying.
The fire of how do you say his name? Regatio? What do you say it? Rafelnir?
Yo.
The DM's supposed to secret
Yo!
right?
Um,
That's the DM secret roll when you're negative hit points.
Yeah, I'm rolling my. Yeah, I'm rolling. All my rolls are secret. They're all set to whisper to.
Rafelnir.
Oh, I see. Right, that's the way this one works. Yeah.
Rafelnir. So Gruner went now. Rafelnir. Seeing him bleeding out, what are you gonna do?
Perception check to see if I can tell whether or not he's, actually still bleeding.
Okay. Yeah, he's still bleeding. You see him moving and squirming. You can see his chest rise and fall.
Okay. Can I estimate how many rounds he's got left with that perception check?
Maybe with a heal check.
Yeah. Okay. Felnir is going to come and, as a free action, shout as loudly as he can, "Help! Man down! Help! Man down!" And he's going to make a, almost certainly to fail, heal check to stabilize. Yeah, that's not going to be good enough.
No worries. You do remember that he has
Oh,
potion.
that's right. Can
With
I
your
instead
perception
use
check.
my turn to...
Yeah, with your perception check, you notice that he has a potion on his side pack.
Okay, what kind of action would it be to pull that out? I took a 5-foot step to move up, so I got standard and move.
I'll let you have
figured-
your entire round to get the potion and give it to Gruner.
That's basically what it
Okay,
is.
so at the beginning of my next turn, the Cure Light Runes goes off. That's my full round action.
No, it's a full round,
It's now.
like a full round to drink. So like for like you, it's a move to pull and a standard to drink. So pulling someone's and force feeding them is the same idea. So let me heal myself. D8 plus 1.
Good.
Well, I don't think you're awake, but you're alive.
Yeah, I don't think unless the healing brings you up, even if it's magical healing, I don't think you wake up.
Yeah, you're just guaranteed stabilized.
Unless something pokes me.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that shouting probably... I mean, come on. We just said there's a family in there. I'm pretty sure you're waking people up.
That's for Felner's turn. But now it is... Chorus.
Chorus, then.
Chorus, yeah.
Yeah, so make my roll. I'll tell you. How do I tell you? /W
Mm-hmm.
is whisper text.
Mm-hmm. Or you
Should
just tell
automatically
me,
whisper the roll.
or you can just tell me on Discord.
Yeah, if you want to send a GM, it's /W space, and then it should auto-populate, and one of them is GM.
Get that? Did you get that, DM?
Yeah, I'm doing a couple of things. Sorry. Okay. Got you, Daryl. Okay. Thank you, bud. Okay, so now, Chorus went. Now the wolf is going to go, or he's doing his wolfy stuff. Now my guy's turn. He is going to step away from Chorus. And do you get take opportunity, Chorus? Oh, you're down. Sorry.
No.
And you saw him go this way, Rafelnir. Okay. So now that is that turn. His turn. He left. Gruner.
I'm stable.
You're stable. At that moment, you see a sleepy-eyed man and female Rafelnir and woman and one of their small children exit the house you just were in. You see the father goes back to sleep, Dahlia, and she goes back. He comes up to you. He seems, as he gets closer, you actually notice that he's a dwarf, Rafelnir. Him and his wife, or what you assume to be his wife. And he goes up to you. He sees Rafelnir, and he sees Gruner, and he says, "What in the bloody hell happened here?"
Hale, we are hunting a werewolf. Please take this man inside, get him off the streets, and yourself as well. Bar the door. I will be back for him if I live at the end of the night.
Okay, Rafelnir, do your move. Do what you would do in this situation.
One move action to... And he sees down the alley, and the werewolf is booking it.
Mm-hmm.
So much for grease range. And he's going to go and
Oh, I mean, if you
take.
want to hit him with grease, you can before he walks away.
Oh.
25 foot.
So
Yeah.
I can reach out, yes, 25 feet with grease.
You can.
And so, yeah, that would be a standard action. He's going to need to make. Let me look that up. That's going to be a difficulty 16 reflex save or fall prone. And go ahead and put the grease pool and the werewolf wherever you think that should be.
What's that, bud? What's your grease? 10 foot?
5 foot, yes, 10 foot by 10 foot. So
I was
in
gonna put it
here
right here.
would be. Sure.
Okay, let me move him. Okay, I gotta roll a reflex save. Wow, he's prone, right?
Yes. And Rafelny says, you
Wow.
know, you can potentially have your name cleared, your honor unsullied, if only you were to face the music like a man, not run like a beast.
That was more of a gurgle, not a
I
ooh
know,
god
I know,
murder.
I know. A gurgle with the blood. Rafael, you see Gruner down. You know Chorus went over the house. Roll a diplomacy check for me. Give me 1 second. Let me change my microphone out.
Yep, he doesn't have diplomacy trained, so it's just a flat career.
Not bad. As he's on the ground covered in grease, he replies back to you with another roar and tells you that he is too far gone and that the ones that has done him this way and plotted his course without his say must pay.
Then you may go. I will dismiss the grease, and I have no further power to stop you. I wish you good fortune wherever life takes you. If you do change your mind, I'm sure that we can arrange a plea bargain with a lighter sentence in return for your cooperation.
Okay. It's still whatever's happening. I'll let you go take care of Chorus now.
All right, so and I'm sorry, I accidentally refreshed the page. So are we out of initiative order?
Yeah, you can keep on going, yeah.
I think
Okay, then
we're
as
still
soon
in
as it
initiative order.
loads, which might take a while.
Okay.
What's
Chorus,
that?
you want to try to do anything? I know we're still trying to stabilize Chorus. Do we have anything that
We're
can...
still in initiative order, though, right?
Yeah,
We're still as we were before.
yeah, but I'm rolling for you, so... Unless you want to roll for yourselves.
No, I'm just saying that we're still tracking by initiative order and movement and everything as it was before. You cast your spell, he's down in that square, so we'll still keep going by initiative order, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I just personally play like when I'm dead or down, I don't get to say anything or tell anybody what to do or
No, for
anything like
sure, yeah, because you're struggling, for sure. Rafael Gruner is up now. You're being taken care of by this man and woman. Let's see something really quick. Let's see. They're trying to get you. Let's roll. I'll roll flats. Okay, for them. They try to drag Gruner to their home. Okay, Rafael you can go ahead and go to keep looking. Did it load, Rafael?
Oh, is it the next round?
Mm-hmm. There before you, Rafael, you see Chorus, bloodied, still big, I believe. see bite marks, claw marks all over him?
I think he's still big.
Yeah, I don't think a minute has quite passed.
Or Farronir, what would you like to do, sir?
So that's one move.
Oh wait, I've been muted this whole time. I'm so sorry. Yes, he's going to finish his move action to move another 10 feet and approach. He made a wisdom check in lieu of a heal check and got a natural 1, so that's not helpful.
Okay.
Is that your turn?
Yes, that's the turn. I'm done.
Let me see something. That's funny. Okay. Okay. Raphaelnia, you wanna try it again? Do you have any healing or anything you can do for Chorus?
So that round, just to be clear, in the round that Rafelnir moved, the werewolf pretty much either had to do a full round 5-foot crawl and still have to deal with the grease, or he had to stand up and then quarter move across the grease if he was going in the direction away from us, which meant that he had to use a move to stand up, and then he used either he tried to move at normal speed and then he would have to take a DC 10 balance check, or he moved very slowly and is probably right beside the grease at the end of that turn.
Let's see if he makes it accurate. The balance check. He makes it.
Yeah, he's fine.
So he stands up and is able to move one move, but those 2 squares are double movement, right? So that's how far he's
So he'd be right here, correct?
somewhere like that.
Yep.
I'm just sort of saying that to track the position.
I got you. So let me look again at this heal check.
Oh yeah, it's difficulty 15. I was 1 shy.
Okay.
So just imagine Rafelnir's trying everything, and he's almost got it, and he doesn't quite know why it's still bleeding.
Gruner, at that moment, you see that the lady moves her hand, and you're healed 4 hit points.
I am barely awake.
She starts questioning you and asking you if everything's okay, what's going on. She looks at your wounds and sees that the wild dogs that's been in the underbridge make it to their neighborhood. They heard howls and wolves. They heard howls and barks.
I'm coming to my senses and I'm delirious, but I'm a good boy. Let me see here. Let's the funny number. He puts the hand as she's going on. He puts his hand up and just says, "You've done enough for me, but my allies are in the area, and I don't know their position. Surely they're still in the neighborhood. Find and tend to them. I'll be fine."
Okay,
And I just sort of, I crawl up against the wall and just hold my gut and just breathe heavy.
let's see something. Let's see if she has any expenditures left. Okay.
Lucky that we stumbled into the house of what, a level 2 adept?
Yeah, just a common healer woman.
Well, I roll a percentage chance. She comes over and she says, "Let me
Help
see."
me! I can't do I don't know what I'm doing.
Make that stuff stop.
She says, "By the grace of Torog." She says, "Move." She says, "Move." How would she say to you? She would say, "Move, elf. I am a cleric of Torog here in the city. I can tend to his wounds and take better care of him. Go," he says, "go tend to your friend and tell my husband um, to make his way."
Yes, I believe this would be helpful, and he dismisses the enlarged person.
Okay.
I'm just going to interject here. I understand to me that you're hand waving what's happening right now, but to me, the lady who comes out, who's the priest, much more time than 0 rounds would have elapsed by the time Gurner was brought in and healed. I don't think you got over to me this round.
Okay, so what's that, one more round?
I don't know. I think it probably more than that.
Rafelnir can attempt one last heal check.
Oh yeah, sure. Make a bam, 15.
He did it!
He did it. Good job, Rafelnir.
Woo!
Being sort of a coward, it worked out in the end.
So, honestly, that wolf had better than 50-50 odds of taking down Rafelnir. So,
Oh yeah, and he was on his last
my
legs.
decisions.
Practically.
And no, it's not. I've a really good role play. So for Rafelnir to do what he did, I just rolled a percentage chance, and I just rolled that she's, like I said, an adept. Um, Let me see if I can do a heal check, because it doesn't matter. You still could die. Let me pull the character sheet up.
Yeah, let's look up heal check.
Huh? Her heal check. Okay, here we go. Let me see her skills. Hmm. I can trade out a spell to spontaneous cast Cure Light Wounds, correct? For a cleric?
Adepts cannot. They have to have
No,
prepared it, but
clerics.
I would
Clerics
expect
can.
that they would normally prepare it as full up as they can.
Yeah, but a cleric can if she's a cleric.
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna trade out
But if she's an
command.
if she's an adept, she cannot.
She's a cleric. She's a dwarf cleric of Torog. I'm gonna spontaneous cast. I'm gonna switch out command for Cure Light Wounds. Okay, let me roll Cure Light Wounds +1 for my level. Wow, 2 damage, 2 HP.
Torag doesn't like you.
But Torag's a nice guy.
Okay, that's that round. Let me make another roll for you. But now we don't get as many negatives. So I've done magical healing,
Does
so it's still not
does
0,
Rafael
correct?
does Rafelnir have ranks in heal?
No, however, if I recall correctly, heal is not trained only.
It is
Yes, heal is not a trained only skill.
But if you have no ranks in it, you can only get a 10.
No, that's knowledge. Knowledge is the only. Knowledge is trained only. But if you're untrained, you can answer the stupid easy questions, which are DC10. Like those are like the sky is blue level difficulty questions. Untrained stuff, you can just sort of play it bare. Like anyone can do perception; they don't have to be trained in it. Heal's the same idea. Do what you think works.
Okay, so Rafelnir rolled a 15, which is great.
Besides the magical healing, you're definitely stable as well.
Yeah. You're stable for magical healing, correct?
He was stable from the first aid.
First aid, okay. Stable.
Or yeah, like magical healing always stabilizes.
And then I rolled that for him as well, so that's good. Okay, hopefully we can do another round. Rafael, did you get anything from doing another heal check?
Nope, once he's stable, that's all I can help.
Okay.
We don't have doctor's kits to reliably, and we need an hour as well to attempt to treat deadly.
Okay, so I've got a spontaneous cast my last spell. Okay, level 1. Let's see what happens here. So 2. Wow, I rolled bad. So I
Zorak
rolled.
says, "Screw you, man."
So I have 4 HP to chorus. And I mean, I've rolled good on your checks course, so now you're stable, but you're like at -3. So man,
Alright, then Rafelnir will thank the dwarven woman and say, I am Rafelnir the wizard. May I have your name?
she says her name is Bethina.
Athena, we are in your debt, and it is a debt that I mean to repay.
She says, "You do not have to pay me, but if you get a chance in the city of, and if you make your way to a temple of Torag, please just offer up a little of your coin in our coffers."
Shall make a donation on the morrow. Governor, I am glad to see you. Are you well?
He he sort of pats his chest. It still beats, therefore I'm fine.
I suppose the same can be said for Chorus here. This is Abathena. I believe that she has saved our lives.
Eh, regrettably, he had to get away, but he was too much for us. We got enough of a explanation of our cause, but I believe our employer needs to answer a few more questions. But that's neither here nor there. We should help our comrade back. And he
So we
gives
should.
Abathena a nod as sort of lifts Chorus over his shoulders, to carry him.
Well, she tells the group, she says that if it's in trouble at that time, you see her husband head this way as well. He says, we have an extra spot here at our house that you definitely could stay out for the night to rest up. There are still wolves loose in the street. If that's what you say about this creature still out on the prowl, you might not make it back to where you're staying.
Your is considerable and greatly appreciated. Gurner, unless you object, I'd say we should do this.
We are in no position to trek through the darkness. I agree. I will meet hospitality in kind, and I will repay you however I can.
So the group heads to their home, and I'm just gonna put their home. Let me see. Let's put y'all here. Okay.
Felnir would introduce himself to all present and ask for names, if you don't mind coming up with them.
So at this moment, let me get some dwarven names. I can do a dwarven name generator. So. Okay. So I know you take notes, Jacob. Dwarf name generator. So her is Belthina. We got his name's going to be um, Regan, and the two baby girl names. There's 2 children here. We have Carol and Edina. Yep.
And Rafelnir would say, "Your hospitality is greatly appreciated. We will leave at first light. I would not wish to impose further."
And she says, "Don't worry about that. I was going to get up and do a early prayer for Torag anyway. she says that she's gonna stay up with her husband. He insists that he stays up with the group, and he just asks questions about what's happening every night. You see Chorus here, resting. What you do notice about the area or the sea, you see a couple of suits of armor and a warhammer. So you see the warhammer has a symbol of Torog on it. You see a little bit of leather armor as well. So it seems that these two are can hold their own, or it seems that they are in Warriors of Torog. The armor looks like it is a little bit too big for Bethina to wear. But Regan tells you that these attacks have been going on for the last 3 days, of rumors of rabid wolves and a hybrid wolf-like creature, half man, half wolf, jumping the roofs at night, howling all hours of the night. The city guard has had trouble tracking him down. There's been several deaths of mauled people, mostly politicians, bailsmen, clerk recorders. No judges yet, but a couple of militiamen, investigators, and things of that nature. It seems to be some type
I
of
believe that the beast did, in fact, get a judge just earlier this night. We tracked it to this place from here, from from 22 Alabaster Courthouse.
He says, "Well, luckily we're not a politician because they're in the Naos district by now. Is where the group's at." He says, "Well, get some rest and we can talk in the morning. Please," he says, "I know you want to leave it first light, but I'm just gonna stand here." And he says by the door, he says, "I'm gonna start, getting stuff ready for in the morning. But if you need anything, then please let him know."
It is greatly appreciated. I think what we need most is time.
Okay, so with that, I'm going to, I guess, end our session. It's 9:30 now, unless you guys want to continue to play for 30 more minutes.
Well, I mean, we have to face the music at some point. I mean, I don't know if we have to heal up and get back to the safe house and sort of break the news and maybe get some answers. Because what I was hinting at, we sort of knew what our task was. We the idea of wolfsbane, and that that's enough to insinuate we're dealing with a werewolf, and that Villic was a murderer of the courts and that. But I don't remember if we found out why, or if he possibly personally wronged our employer.
Yes, I believe that was a story that Artist told. Mostly that there was a challenge of a local notable's son gone wrong. The son went on a mercenary expedition and the Villic was caught the blame for that and was run out of town. And he's returned a few days ago, changed, and has been wreaking bloody vengeance.
Hmm. So we do sort of know, I mean, why he wants him taken out, but that's it's still a little fishy, no?
And I wish I'd remembered to roll sense
It is a
motive to
little
see
fishy.
whether or not Villic was lying to us. No way, he actually. Okay, he said when he was first appeared that he wanted to get out of town the next day. So I don't know.
That's because it's like the idea of messing around. Like there was an issue with a noble's child, and that's like, yeah, I mean, there's crimes here and there and every which way, but it seems like the idea that we're being covert operatives to take him out doesn't seem all that just. I mean, we're all pretty lawful boys here, and we don't really know at this point. I don't think know who our employer actually is, but I feel like it goes against at least some of our ethos. I mean, like, yeah, we were drugged basically and contacted, and no questions asked. But then at this point, with how bad of a fight it was, and that it didn't seem like he wanted to fight us either. Like if he was just a rabid man that we had to put down like the half animal he is, that's one thing. But he tried to parlay with us. He wasn't completely out for blood. He just wanted to skip town. And yeah, I know, like, if he's wanted, he's wanted. But again, the whole premise is fishy. In that it's not like, I mean, okay, he's wanted for murder at this point. But you get what I'm saying, right? Like the original
Oh, yeah.
crux of why we want him seems like it's bad blood between him and our employer, and it's not necessarily just that we're sort of just trying to bag him and tag him and take him out under the cover of night.
Of course, you're in this conversation too. We're kind of out of the character talking, so you're fine. You can talk about you're down healing, but
Is the video stopped now?
no, I'm just discussing it. We're just discussing the night's play.
Yeah, I have a bunch of things to weigh in on, so.
Okay. Yeah, but I go ahead and end the video. Thank you folks for watching. Again, next Sunday at 7 p.m. EST.